It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. We're going to talk about gamers today. Gamer is a funny term to me. I've played more computer games per capita than just about anyone I know. It's essentially been my primary hobby for 30 plus years, but the term gamer has always left a pretty bad taste in my mouth. I love games, don't get me wrong, but that term to me has always been associated to an audience often perceived, rightfully, as juvenile and disconnected from reality. Let's talk about a few gamer YouTubers. As one might expect, hobbyists who have lived their entire life around computer screens often happen to know a lot about tech. So let's talk about two channels that were both around about 10 years ago and really occupied a similar space at that time. Linus Tech Tips and Gamers Nexus. Now, if we look back about those 10 years ago, both of these channels were pretty similar in focus. Personal computer hardware reviews generally focused on performance for value and really focused on tech that goes into gaming as a hobby. Today, Linus Tech Tips has grown significantly. Their aim as a channel has been expansion of a channel as a business with a focus on pumping out many videos, both keeping to hardware reviews or general PC hardware content from that consumer point of view. They're up today to about 16 million subscribers on YouTube and have successfully grown a sizable audience. However, many, like myself, have discarded and will not consume content on that channel. As part of their businessification of the LTT brand, there's been an outsized focus on hawking their products to their large audience and just generally a lack of valuable substance in their videos. They really don't do any real investigation, and they've been called out for their subpar standards in hardware testing. I don't recommend watching the channel. They're worth knowing about from a cultural perspective, but frankly, they've prioritized business and audience growth directly at the cost to quality content. Now, the next one, Gamers Nexus, is a bit smaller, currently sitting at about 2.6 million subscribers as opposed to 16. However, whereas Linus Tech Tips really just stuck to pumping out videos, apparently for the goal of constant growth, like you see a lot of the time on YouTube, Gamers Nexus moved in a very real way from gaming hardware reviews to some of the most compelling independent journalism that I have seen over the past 2 years. The first focus of theirs that really got my attention on the channel was when they visited importers and tech companies to take an in-depth deep dive onto the effects of the rapidly shifting tariff market last year in 2025. Since then, they've really dove into independent journalism, focusing on the larger themes and actions that are affecting the market for personal PC hardware. In my view, those themes tie in directly with the big tech angst and concern that I've brought up a few times on videos on this channel. They probably have gotten maybe 80 views total. So if you haven't seen me talking about that just yet, you can, but I'm going to link some videos of people who I think do a better job of covering the angst I was bringing up there. All right, so in short, Nvidia, the most valuable company in the world today by market cap, has been a leader of GPUs or graphics card market for decades. And it just so happens that GPUs, their primary product, are the preferred mechanisms for empowering AI data centers, especially as Nvidia has shifted its R&D away from consumer gaming hardware in favor of really focusing on those lucrative data center AI GPUs. So in addition to being my personal hair icon at the moment, Steve, the main face of Gamers Nexus, has been a really articulate and insightful view to the direct computing industry impacts over the past year. And as you may have heard me mention, big tech companies ought to be at the forefront of our minds right now, as they are directly enabling support of our fascist administration, and the only way we are likely to get them to change is by economic action. So I won't spoil it or bury the lead, but I am going to link Gamers Nexus' latest video titled "The Torture Will Continue Until Shareholder Value Improves" in the description and at the end screen of the video. It's about 45 minutes long. It is well worth the watch if you share any of that big tech / stock market manipulation angst that I've spoken up about recently, and it really covers the very volatile big tech stocks as we've seen over the past week. Okay, Another games industry professional recently put out a really well-researched video in a similar, though shorter, format. Chara Lanazard is the name of her channel. She's a former games writer who made the pivot to full-time streaming about a year ago due to personal circumstances that she published in a separate channel on a vlog. I think her most recent video, "The Entire Tech Industry is Screwed," is a tremendous and fantastically cited. When you go watch it, and do watch it, check the video description. The runtime's about 20 minutes, and it serves to give an excellent overview about the current situation in the tech sector. All right, gamers rise up is kind of a tongue-in-cheek phrase loosely associated to some internet buzz or culture back in the late 2010s, largely meant to poke fun at gamers, portraying them as the lazy basement dwellers with disconnected takes and heads in the sand that, well, sometimes truthfully they are. While those gamers do exist, though, to be sure, it has been so heartening to see many people who share my favorite hobby really meaningfully rise up to promote the truth at a time when it's badly needed. So highly recommend you go check out these videos. Just part of larger awareness, staying aware of the economy overall. We are in a ridiculous flurry news cycle that is not going to stop for the next few years. So definitely worth checking these because they have an outsized impact, not only on gamers or computer hardware, but this is going to impact everybody's retirement savings.